World Cup qualifiers in the month of March, and we're getting nothing yet from the NFF. Okay, maybe in the last few days, the former NFF president, Amaju Mervyn Pinnick, came out to say, expect a new manager very soon. We'll get to that shortly on the show. Also, people talk, and when they talk, because of who they are, you pick what they say and you make some meaning from it. On the show today, we'll be getting the voice of few folks who will be talking on the show. John Obi Mikel is on the show this afternoon, not joining us live, but we've got something about him talking about Nicholas Jackson. There's something between Ojo Obi Mikel and Nicholas Jackson. So when saying this coming weekend in the FA Cup, maybe Jackson will score a few goals, and then you know what he did the last time. Obi was busy saying something about him, and then he went on to score. Not just him talking, SAMIES also will be here. We will also be talking. Arteta will be talking, and issues concerning Marcus Rashford. Rashford, will he leave Manchester United? People are beginning to inquire about him. Can we get in Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan? And for AC Milan, Sammy here is excited that they won something yesterday against Inter Milan in the Super Coppa Italia. All right, so all of these we've put together to make the next 26 minutes worth it. Let's get down to the issues concerning Super Eagles. Earlier this morning, I spoke to someone who kind of understand what is going on in terms of the head coach of the Super Eagles, and he shared his thought with me. So I'd like you to take a listen to Tosin for a couple of minutes. Tosin is a football enthusiast, a football analyst, a commentator, and of course a writer. He's also a broadcaster like myself. So I'll take a listen to Tosin, and then when we come back, get to hear him for a few minutes. I'll also allow Sammy to also get into all of this because he's our Niger. We go nowhere. We want to qualify for the World Cup. I was talking to him in the morning when we were having that interview with him. I can't just imagine in my head not going to the World Cup. This is going to be like, you want to have more in terms of what some of us are going through in the nation right now as we speak. And the only thing that can give us happiness is football. Oh, we can say something different, but I think for me, it's football. And I know for a few folks here, so they'll say, give me that World Cup ticket. Give me that World Cup ticket. But it won't come in that way. We have to hit the ground running. So let me take a listen to Tosin, and then we'll be back for more.
Yeah, so basically that's what that's the reality, Peter. I think the FIFA Council member and former president of the NFF has said it exactly how it's been. I had a conversation with a source at the Federation last week, and that was exactly what was said, that a foreign manager will be hired this month, and it maybe would come towards, that's what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing that the possibility is that if a deal cannot be agreed, then maybe they will go back to Coach Austin Eguavon. The hope is that they will get that foreign manager in before the CHAN so that the coach can go to Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania and watch the CHAN team play at the tournament, and also get to work a bit with Coach Dan Ogumorede and Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu. I'm hearing that they will be kept on as part of the backroom staff when the new coach comes in. So the hope is that they will make an appointment by the end of the month. It's still down to a couple of things. They still need, there's still a bit of lobbying. There's a candidate already that everyone has more or less a general consensus on. There are other people that they've considered as well, but it's down to finances. That is what is being worked on at this point in time. So if they can iron out the finances in terms of how much the coach will be paid, what he will be paid, I think that will be something that in no distant future we will see a situation when Nigeria has a substantive head coach. The hope is that they're able to get it over the line. I was told it could be sooner, but my hope is that it is sooner than later. So hopefully it doesn't take till the end of the month. Hopefully there's enough money. Remember that the budget for football in the NSC budget was increased on request. So, and that particularly is something that has also received approval from the higher ups. So the hope is that if that is, and there is a bit of a consultation between the NSC and the FF, they reach a bit of conclusion over who the coach is going to be and how much is going to be paid, what his goal is, which obviously is to qualify for the World Cup. And, those are the things that are being considered right now. I will also say that I have not been told any names, but I've only been hinted that there is a probability that it is someone that has been linked to the job before. The name will not surprise a lot of us.
All right. So I went on in that interview to say, you're talking about the name. Do you have anyone in mind? Do you have anyone that you heard of that? Let me allow you to take a listen to Tosin still talking about who this manager is, the name is hearing, and then we'll come back and get that of the thoughts of SAMIES.
Yeah, so for me, I think the name that I am thinking, just like I said before, I was not given any names. I was just told you will not be surprised at the name. It's someone that has been linked to the job before. So I've sort of done a bit of names that have been linked to the job, like Bruno Labbadia, who is still out of job right now. So obviously, is someone that is not, in job right now. So it's someone that will be out of job as is. That's perhaps the name that jumps out to me the most. I know that there are also reports that they're talking to a couple of other coaches. I'm still trying to put the pieces together. But I'm almost certain that it will be, if not a German, then most likely someone along the lines of Western Europe with a bit of, maybe next to not much in terms of knowledge of the African game, but someone who can come in and they hope can get the results that is required to propel Nigeria to the FIFA World Cup. I've also heard from someone, although not as reliable as the source that I've been speaking with in the recent days, that there were attempts to speak to Coach Jose Peseiro once again, but those attempts have not yielded much fruit as well.
All right, so there you have it. That my friend there from Lagos, Tosin, is speaking with me about what he's been getting, what he's been hearing, and what it might likely look. So we'll wait to see. Hopefully this can happen in a week. But hey, you know what? How it works. SAMIES, it's a pleasure having you with me on the show this afternoon. So you've got that of Tosin, what he's got to say. Have you also been hearing any name about Super Eagles? What's your source telling you?
Well, probably I'm not that close as Tosi is to the federation and all that. But it's actually a nice feeling to be here to discuss about sporting stories. And as we are counted down to the month of March, where the Super Eagles would actually take on that Rwanda in March the 5 of the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup.
Match day 5. You are bringing fear here to me. To think that after match day 4, how many points?
We have just 3 points.
3 points after 4 matches.
We are seated 5th. Just 1 point above Zimbabwe.
SAMIES, don't do this. SAMIES, don't do this to me.
I made mention of this because I look at the 2024 calendar year, right after the African Cup of Nations, where we finished second. Well, for me, that was a fluke of a performance. Well, I would say that with my full chest.
Give me the fluke and let me go to the World Cup. Give me fluke performance and let me go to World Cup.
That's the thing, because since then, we have played series of qualification matches. And how much did we fare? Fine, we qualified for the African Cup of Nations set to go down in Morocco later this year and early next year. But our qualification campaign, was it that staggering? Was it that convincing? We didn't win all of our matches. If we had won all of our matches, I probably would say, oh, the Super Eagles didn't do something right in the year 2024 in a World Cup of qualification. But after the African Cup of Nations, we played yet another African Cup of Nations qualifiers. We lost at home. We lost 2 games. And we are calling ourselves the Super Eagles. And the reason for all of this is, as fine as that was a fluke performance there in Ivory Coast for the year 2024, Jose Peseiro was the man who has steadied the ship right at that moment, and he got to the finals. And what happened after Jose Peseiro left that position as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. What did we do? Who was the man that came on board to actually replace Jose Peseiro? And how did the team fare? How did the managers who came on board, how did they fare? Are you going to blame Finidi George? Are you going to blame the names of Bruno Labbadia that came up, but just in a late hour, he said he was no longer interested, or he said he didn't receive something concrete? Or what happened?
But you had Tosin say that name, I just be the name.
Well, if that is the name again, I would say we are not serious as a nation, because how will you go for a man who has actually rejected you at a point, and then you go back to this man? Well, I also made mention of the likes of Austin Eguavoen. If they don't come to a mutual agreement with the names that he has mentioned, well, if they don't come to a mutual agreement, probably it will be Austin Eguavoen and the rest of Daniel Ogumodede and Fidelis Idechukwu who are going to guide the team in the World Cup qualifiers. Well, I would say that a lot of people would also want us to go for European coaches, but we can look inward. There is one name that actually fits in best into the role of the Super Eagles, Joe.
What's Joe?
That's Samson Siasia.
Aha! How are you the last time you saw him on the touchline?
That one was the last time I saw him on the touchline. We all know what happened to him. What
happens? Yeah, we know. But do you bring such a man now, in this situation we are, to come coach the Super Eagles?
That's why I said,
I
know.
I need to open this line.
No.
I need to open this line because you mentioned Samson Siasia.
Yes.
Okay, so hold a bit. 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. You're out there. You had this man saying that for him, the word best to use BEST for the job. Samson Siasia. But for me here, I don't want to stone him. But if you can use your word to stone him, go ahead, do that for me. So I'll go again, the phone lines to number to call 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. Okay, you can also put your thought on our Facebook. We'll get to read it. If you cannot call into the studio, maybe you're busy with your hands. Yeah, come on.
Can I continue?
I can't get it out of my head.
Can I continue?
You go on.
Well, for the reason why I really want people to actually come and let me get their view on the reason why they don't want a Samson Siasia. And from what happened, fine, he is set to get back into managerial role and all of that. But maybe the only issue you're having is for a man that served that lengthy ban.
Okay, so I have that line. It's up. So help me pick it. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Victor. I'm okay, Victor, calling from Soka.
Okay, so Victor, let me get your thoughts. He said Samson Siasia.
Siasia is a good coach.
Yeah.
But right now, since he has been out of job for a while, he will be a little bit rusty. Personally, I would have suggested that we should just stick with a Eguavoen.
You said Eguavoen. You said Eguavoen. Okay. Thank you so much, Victor. Victor says Eguavoen. Sammy says Samson Siasia. Let me see if I can pick one more two calls because maybe this show will just be about this. Come on, Samson Siasia. Austin Eguavoen.
Just like Victor said, Samson Siasia, he is a good manager. And the only issue
I didn't say any one of them are bad.
Well, he made mention that Samson Siasia would be rusty. Well, remember that as a Samson...
Okay, so pick the call. The ones who have the calls coming in, let's go ahead, pick. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, I can hear you. Go on, I can hear you. If you can, I think the lines now.
So as Victor said, he said that Samson Siasia would be rusty. Well, in as much as I would want to also go by that word that Samson Siasia...
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name, sir. Where you're calling from?
Someone is calling from Okebala here.
Okay, good to have you from Okebala, just behind me.
Samson Siasia should have been the best coach. I didn't think the NFF can give him half of what they give to Pacero.
Oh.
So Samson Siasia is better than that because he's no nonsense coach. Or if they can't do Samson Siasia, they should go for Sunday Olise.
Oh, okay.
So
right. Okay. That was too fast. If you can call back, please do, because I've got question for you. He said no nonsense coach in Sunday Olise, Ogochukwu, or he mentioned something Siasia. These two, he said they are no nonsense coach. Hey, Kai, okay, Bola here is not far.
I wouldn't
Call
want
me
to,
back and let me get.
I wouldn't want to go back for that's Sunday Olise, because Sunday Olise had his own maybe not so good moment is women management.
Siasia also didn't have a good moment. Nations Cup, he failed against Guinea.
See, when we look at what Nigeria needs,
this is not under 20. Oh.
See, it's not under 20. Yes, I truly understand that it's not under 20. But we look at what Nigeria needs at this point. We need someone who can steady.
Okay, because
we need someone who can.
Let's use this there. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you well. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, this is Monday from Odoro.
Monday, good. Go ahead.
Yeah, talking about Samson Siasia. Samson Siasia, has he been cleared?
Yes,
from the offense.
Yeah.
The ban was not lifted.
Yeah,
I don't know how we do this. Again, I believe the devil. I want to call it the devil. We know is better than the angel we don't know. Let's take with what we know. Let's come, walk inward, bow inward, look inward. I beg you.
Well, I think he doesn't want Samson.
When I was having that chat with Tosin in the morning, and he mentioned the name of the head coach of Curaçao, not of AC Milan now, the one in charge of the Penangas Negras of Angola, and he is there, another good coach on the continent. Even though so many might not know him, but he's got Angola for the next Nations Cup. He was one of the teams that actually stopped the Black Stars from going to Nations Cup. He put out a few names that are not Nigerians on the table for me in the morning, and these ones, when those names came on board, I've also been checking. These names are not bad. I'm not against us having a home-based coach, but where we find ourselves now, SAMIES, you were the one telling me we've got how many points and where we are, and you say we're going to match day 5 of the World Cup, how many more games to go, and they will have to call. I know that Sam Siasia is a good coach, but is it the one we need now? I don't know. Let's go to the phone line and see again. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Sammy calling back.
Okay, good to have you back, sir.
You said you have a question, so I'm listening.
Yeah, you mentioned Sunday 𝐂𝐿𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐿𝐒.
Yeah.
Do you think he will be willing to take up the job now?
Pardon?
Do you think Sunday 𝐂𝐿e𝐒 will be willing to take that job now?
He will not take it because of what the NFF do to him.
So why your choice of Samson Siasia?
Samson Siasia is just because the type of Nigeria, the type of country we are in. That is the situation we have in this nation. They will not allow them to work. Are they being, the NFF can give them half of what they are giving to white people. These people will do well for us. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Point said, done. We move.
See, I really want to say.
And I wish I have more to say. Let's go back to take more headlines because our time is fast spent. Okay, so I see this here. I don't know. Maybe we can take some of this comment on Facebook. Are they part of what we're talking about? If they are not, but if they are, okay, they're not. Speaking about, maybe we'll come to this. Some of them are talking about Chelsea Football Club here. Let's talk about Chelsea Football Club. Let's head to talk about 𝐵𝐵 He's talking about who now? He's talking about Nicholas Jackson. This, the last time I had what's the name? 𝐵𝐵 spoke. I was very furious with his comment.
That was it was discussing about seriously, I forgot it. How much I would forgive things in this part of the country.
Maybe when we take a listen to 𝐵𝐵, by the time we'll come, we'll remember that thing he said.
I remember.
What was it?
We're back.
We're back.
FC.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Take a listen.
I think striker that can win us this kind of games. You know what I mean? Difficult games whereby if obviously Nicholas Jackson is not firing in all cylinders, you can give him a rest and then get someone else to come into the team and try to win us games and score goals. We're not just clinical enough. He's not scoring enough goals. Listen, he puts himself in good positions, but then he's not finishing. He's not scoring enough. He's not a striker that is going to get us to the top 4 or win us Premier League title. He's not that striker.
He'll get you top 4, maybe not the title.
Yeah, listen, I think he can get us to top 4, but I don't think he can get us over the line in terms of winning trophies. So for me, he's that player, can link up play. He's good on the ball, but he's not scoring enough. He's not scoring enough goals that can win us this. We've been, in the title race. Are we still in the title race? No, we're not in the title race. Definitely not. But we need to focus now. I've said it from the start of the season. Top 4 is what we should be aiming for. We should be aiming to finish in the top 4. And right now, the teams that are behind us are picking up form. They're winning games. You have Newcastle that are coming. You have City that are coming back.
Bournemouth.
You have Bournemouth that are coming back. Obviously, you have Aston Villa. I think they're still going to be there. So listen, it's not a given the top 4. We still have to win games. We still have to fight for it. And right now, we're not winning games. We're finding it difficult to win games. We're finding it difficult to hold on to lead as well. So it's a bit of a worry, but I'm not too worried. I'll be very, very worried if we stop creating chances and playing well. But we are doing that. We are creating chances. But unfortunately, we are not clinical enough. How many times have we finished games, the last 4, 5, 6 games, that the managers come out and say, listen, we created chances, we played enough to be able to win this game, but we're not clicking enough. We're not. And I think the manager needs to, I'm not saying come out and say something publicly, but he needs to have a word with Jackson. Whatever it is he needs to do, he needs to continue to give him the confidence. He needs to start scoring enough. He's not scoring enough. And for me, that's what I've said before. If we have a Victor Osimhen or the guy from Sporting Lisbon,
Victor
𝐾𝐈𝐒.
Yeah, exactly. I think, trust me, we would have still been competing to win the Premier League.
𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐿, the last time Simon said he was talking about Corner FC. Now he's talking about Nicholas Jackson. Get him Victor Osimhen, and then they'll be competing for the league. He's now competing for the league, competing for finishing in the 4th place. Okay, so we'll come to that later because we've got, like I said, voices on the show this Tuesday afternoon. Let's get that off. A man who's got a game coming up tonight. His name is Mikel Arteta. It's about bringing back memories. They want to win something tonight. It starts for them at home against Newcastle, first leg of the first semi-final of this year's English Football League Cup, EFL Cup, or some will call it Carling Cup, Carabao Cup, name any cup. But we know what it is. It's all about the cup in England tonight. Let's take a listen to Mikel Arteta.
Obviously, we work every single day to achieve that, to bring joy to our people, and there is not a single moment that stands out more than actually when you have that cup and you are offering that cup to your supporters and you share it with the people that you work every day with. So there are memories obviously stick in your mind, and hopefully we can create many more.
Considering the progress that you've made in the 5 years, would you like to, expected to, have won more trophies?
Like, for sure, expected. I don't know, because we know as well the level of opposition that we are in, but as a club we have to expect to win every year, that's for sure.
And domestic trophies, they mean so much?
Yes.
You don't see them on a lower level.
They mean to all of us, because if you see how a lot of clubs used to prepare and decide lineups and a lot of stuff around the cups, and how it is right now, it's very different, because we know that to win any trophy in this environment, especially in this country, is extremely difficult.
Okay, so that's Mikel Arteta there ahead of the game tonight. We'll wrap up the show, because we began the show with so much argument about who's the head coach, Super Eagles we want to get and all that. Let's wrap up with another kind of talking point or controversy now. Has got to do with Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk. Everyone seems to be weighing in on these old issues happening. In the morning, I played with the voice of Jamie Carragher. He's also talking, and Salah replied him. I also took that in the morning. So maybe we'll take a listen to who now. SAMIES help me, who's there?
That's Rio Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand. He's also weighing in about it.
Maybe not Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know they are in the similar situation.
Yeah.
Trent,
Salah, Van Dijk, yeah.
And there are rumors that Van Dijk maybe is offering himself to Real Madrid. And then right after the game against
Van Dijk or Trent Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk is offering himself to Real Madrid.
But then there were talks about the Tranmere Rovers. Well,
yeah, that was from Roy Keane.
And then I look at it, really.
Why the bashing? Just one game, maybe he didn't do well, and this is coming. Is it because he's going to Spain?
When he was scoring free kicks and all of that, so where were you to even give the praise?
Is it that the English look? Is it like the English guys look a bit insecure? Because I was watching games last night between Wolves and Nottingham Forest, and there were two Portuguese coaches on the touchline, and I said, this English don't even have coaches. They don't have managers. Name one manager in the English Premier League who is English that is doing well, or even away from England. The head coach, as we speak right now in England, is a German. And you have your players who want to go out and, exploit Jude Bellingham is doing well with Real, and Fikao Somali, who don't play in the national team, is doing well with AC Milan. We saw what he did last night after he was benched by Paulo Fonseca, and we saw what he's now doing in 2 games against Cosenza. And now these guys are talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Chomia Rivers. I saw that, and I was, well, Keane is even Irish, not even English. Maybe let's listen to Ferdinand before we wrap up the show this afternoon.
That agreement done, and then come out and be honest with Liverpool fans, because they'll respect you and love you more when you leave. If Trent just came out and went, listen, man, I love this club. This is my club. I'm a Scouser. I've done it all. I've lived a dream. But there's another dream out there for me. And I want to go and test myself somewhere else. But this will always be my club, and I love it here. The fans, I think, would go, you know what, fair play. And it ain't my fault, by the way, that I'm down to a free transfer. If the club really, really wanted to make it impossible for me to get, they could maybe have done that earlier, but only if he's got a deal done with Real Madrid.
So, Samis, we have to go, but quickly weigh in on this in 30 seconds.
Well, talking about this contract situation within Liverpool Football Club, I think Liverpool are slowing things down. And, today is just the 7th day, and we have that. How many days left?
24.
Let's say 24 days left before the month gets to an end. And then these players, that they will just move for free. That's once the season is over. But then the reason why I said Liverpool, they are slowing things down. These are some of your best players. Virgil van Dijk, the captain of the side.
I can't remember any club side.
The front runner for
I can't remember any club side in Europe that will leave 3 of their key players with 6 months remaining in that deal. I know one can happen to 3 key players that take those 3 players away from Liverpool Football Club. Where would they be? 1 minute to 4. We have to go. The news coming up for 4, and Kenny is standing by for that. Once Kenny is done with the news, the home run show will come. We'll be back again Wednesday morning, 7:45. That will be Scoreboard in 15. I am Peter Omo.